we're staying on Mission Bay, and I've been out here quite a few times, and I love San Diego. And to tell you the truth, most of my songs are inspired by coming out here.
Really?
And especially this one, you'll be able to tell here. I played this the other day at an open mic, and they're like, "Wow, I've never heard that song before." I'm like, "Yeah, because I just came up with it a little bit ago." They're like, "Wow, it's like really soothing," and so who knows? Maybe I got a hit. To the ocean, that's where I want to go. Walk that beach just so I know. The sun is shining all day long, and the ocean waves, they sing this song. Give me some of that sunshine, some of that sweet sunshine. Give me some of that sweet sunshine on the ocean bay, ocean bay. Ocean Bay. Back to the ocean, that's where I want to stay, and walk that beach every single day. And the sun will be shining all day long. Ocean waves, they sing this song. Give me some of that sunshine. Give me some of that sweet sunshine. Give me some of that, oh, sunshine. Ocean Bay. Ocean Bay. To the ocean so I can see my friends. We can walk that beach to the very end. The sun is shining all day long, and the ocean waves, they sing this song. Give me some of that sunshine. Give me some of that sunshine. Give me some of that sweet sunshine on the ocean bay. Ocean Bay. Ocean Bay.
Damn, now that is a way to start. That is the
That's
way
an intro.
to start a podcast.
That is the anticipation of being here. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I live in Illinois, so like, it's just I'm dreaming about coming out here all the time. So it's a good, yeah.
Well,
So, welcome everybody to No Fixed Agenda.
Yeah.
That's the easiest, smoothest
that's the smoothest
intro that we've ever had to the show. We've
Yeah.
got my friend Matt Meyer from, as you said, Illinois, is here joining us today, and I am lucky enough to have him here for my birthday this week.
Yes, I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us, man.
Heck yeah, definitely.
So we'll inspiration of that song, as you
Yes.
said, was
yeah.
coming out here all the time,
Yes.
or looking forward to coming out here.
Looking forward to coming out here. One of my really good friends, our really good friends, Jake Simons, has lived out here for a while. And we've been friends since kindergarten, basically. So I've had a chance to come out here quite a few times, and it's just every time is a blessing. I mean, it's really an inspiration. Every time is an inspiration. I go back just refreshed. It's like, I always tell people it's like recharging your battery, you know. But it also, for me and for being from the Midwest, it's really cool to visit out here because you get it all at once. You don't get it at all, and then you come out here, you get everything. Where people who live out here, you're just kind of used to it.
Like,
You know,
there's like,
So-
yeah, we
Yeah,
take.
It's
the-
sunny
Oh,
again.
yeah, it's been the sun's out
The
again,
unfortunate
right?
thing is I think we take it for granted sometimes.
and you know, well, no matter what it is.
But never
right?
what it is. You
Yeah.
take it for granted. I mean, it's like my wife and I don't really go to the beach very often because it's there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. Like, yeah.
And what's kind of funny is I'm sure that if I moved out here, I probably would fall into the same thing. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you kind of have that. So it's kind of nice to be able to visit and have that as more of like a magical kind of place. And it's still there with me. You know,
Yep.
it still feels that way every time I'm out here. But I've always said, man, eventually I'm going to end up out here at some point. I've always said that. And everyone's like, oh, it's too expensive. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll
That
go
is
into debt,
true.
you know,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I mean, how much longer do we have, right?
Yeah, that's a valid point. I'm listening to a book, Who Not What, and that was the number one thing that says we walk around. It was like one of the things we were talking about in the book. It was like we walk around like if every moment is forever, like if we have forever to live these moments, right?
Yeah.
And it's not. And the whole premise of the book is to kind of like regain some of your own time so that you can kind of enjoy the things that you've built, right? And be creative and do those kind of things. But yeah.
Well, and I'm sure too, living out here you're always constantly just trying to exist and be out here. You know, how much time do you really have to enjoy it? Like while you're out here. I mean, yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
you get it, but
At the prices that we have to pay, we gotta hustle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd asked us as you came into the studio
Yeah.
today. You'd asked us how we knew each other, and I give a real quick backstory with it. Our close friend, you know, as Matt said, Jake Simons. He grew up with him. I was roommates with him in Boulder. He's still one of my closest friends today. He lives here in San Diego, and so I don't get a chance to see Jake very often. So the real reason I invited you really was to get Jake to actually come up to Carlsbad because he never leaves
'cause
PB.
he doesn't. Yeah,
He doesn't leave PB. So I was
he's
like,
always
you know
hustling.
what? The only way that I'm going to get Jake to come up to Carlsbad for
If I
this
get mad
weekend,
up here.
I'm going to bring Matt out.
Well, it works.
It works. So anyway, Matt and I started hanging out more when both Jake and I had moved here to San Diego, and we were living in just to share one story. And I
love this.
I personally, I don't think anybody else does. I personally call Matt the plumber.
Yeah, you're the only person
Why,
who knows
whoa,
it.
whoa.
Yeah,
Why?
I call Matt
plumber.
the plumber. And so
Because he just was shit all day or what?
no.
Uh-huh.
So as you are mostly in PB, it's your party phase. You're there. We were all of us were down there in our early 30s, right, and just partying up on the beach. And it was when you could drink on the beach and everything else. And so
Maybe a few games of horseshoes.
made a few games of horseshoes. So when Jake and I moved into the last place that we lived together in PB, Matt came out, and I think it was maybe for New Year's.
Yes, it was.
It was New Year's, and I can't remember I can't remember the year, but anyway, it was on New Year's, and we had this huge party. And like we used to call our house the fishbowl because in our backyard, there was two apartment complexes that looked down into our backyard. And so everybody can see what was going on.
What was going on in the house?
Everybody could see what was going on in the house. And so we always called it the fishbowl. So when we had parties, we were like, hey, come to the fishbowl. And so we had a New Year's Eve party. We brought in a bartender and this whole that like did it up. And at one point in time in that night, it was late, and Matt goes into the bathroom, and to his credit, it's a very short toilet, and it was a very small toilet. But he goes to
Wait.
So wait, let me take over. So
yeah, please take over.
Okay, so let me go and this again was a while back, and quite a few libations had been enjoyed. Let's say more than a few for New Year's.
Yes.
I found myself standing in front of the toilet, just not like going to the toilet, but just like standing there and then just completely losing balance and just falling back into it. Like, so it's like I was just standing there and
Wouldn't even go in the bathroom.
No, I just fell back and I happened to like fell back in the toilet, completely shattered it. And the freaking water started coming everywhere. I was like, holy shit, and I was, not in a good spot. So people were knocking on the door going, hey, what's going on?
There's water coming out the
Hey, and I'm like, oh, no, everything's fine.
Everything's
it's okay.
fine.
I'm just wrapping it up, There's like water coming out. Yeah. I don't know. What are you going to do? It happens to the best of us. Right?
I've never broken a toilet. I've done some crazy shit.
The shitty thing is, I think it was the only bathroom in the house, too.
Oh, God.
So
what did Jake do?
Well, no, I mean, most people, it was closer to the end of the night, so most people had gone.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was the height of the party.
Got
It was late at night. I think there was probably only a handful of people left. And so we were just like, actually, I think, no, I take that back. I think Jake had a bathroom in his bedroom, I think.
There was another.
He had a bathroom in his bedroom. So anyway, we just had to use his restroom for the rest of the night. And then the next day.
You come up to the door, though, and like there's water like coming from the door.
There's water.
He comes in like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, I just like fell
Yeah.
in the toilet. I don't know.
Just like fell.
He turns off the water like, okay.
And
But then we had the biggest walk of shame, and no one has ever had to do this except we did it the morning after, the New Year's party. We're going to Home Depot to shop for toilets before I can catch my plane on the way home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of like hanging out on the beach, having another little
shopping
whatever.
for toilets.
Yes.
So that's the thing, though, is if you're a homeowner and you're redoing your bathroom, or you're getting a new toilet, you know that there's a process for this thing. It's not just go in and
Change a part out.
just change a part out. Like you've got to. But Matt and I just go to Home Depot. We're like,
I don't know, toilets.
But I remember like, well, American Standard.
That's got to be
It's got to be okay. It's American
American
Standard. Standard.
It'll fit.
It was fit. And so we ended up buying a thing.
And it never
it
really
never really fit correctly.
In the hole.
Right, because you have to.
Yeah.
It has to cover the. I don't think it really. And we stayed in that house for another year, at least a year and a half. And it never leaked or anything like that. But when we moved out, that was one of the things that I thought about. I was like, these guys are going to come in and be like, what the hell happened to our
this?
toilet?
Yeah. Just let that one die. Well, they can listen to the podcast
And it was
figure it out.
and it
No,
was
they don't.
And it's also exactly. And it's also one of those things where we didn't have a lot of money at that point in time, so we're like, hey, we don't want to spend $500 on this thing.
Toilet.
Like,
What's the cheapest toilet?
What's
the Standard.
Yeah, the Standard. So here Matt and I are in this. The next day, I'm trying to help out, and the two of us are in this small ass bathroom trying to put this toilet in, and it's
awful.
It's just awful. Like neither of us really know what's going on. Like we're just putting this thing together, and I was like,
Bummer.
But from that point on, I was the plumber's coming out. What's going on?
The plumber's coming. So yeah. So I
inside joke now. Revealed. Now not inside anymore.
Now not inside anymore. So now everybody this weekend will be calling you the plumber.
That's fine. That's okay.
Plumber.
So that was really the first true experience that you and I shared together.
What I love though is while like he could have been completely pissed. We were just like happy as hell to go to the Home Depot that day. We're just like laughing and joking, and so like even when you find people who can can laugh about something like that, where I destroyed your bathroom, but we can kind of laugh and go.
It brings a whole new meaning to it.
Yeah,
I destroyed your bathroom, bro.
Because it's like but it's like it kind of that's where the friendship, that's
where I think that's where you've got really like. You have really good friends is when you can do shit like that, and you're just like,
whatever.
Like,
Let's just
honestly, it's not like you intentionally did it, right? And so that's the other thing too. Is like like you said, there's libations involved, and both of us, everybody.
I might have been overserved at that party,
probably. Everybody at that party, it could have happened to anybody, right? And it was just kind of one of those things. It just worked out, and it was.
I'll take it.
It was an interesting story.
But then, how much of that, if that all wouldn't have happened, would this have continued? Would you have invited me to come back out? And like I feel like it almost had to happen.
Well, and that's funny. So since that point in time, every time Matt has come to town, I've always made it a point to go down and see him and his wife when they've come in. I actually invited Matt and his band to play at the Kook Run.
Okay.
Back in 2022, they came out and played.
Yeah.
So I've always made it a point to like bring him out here or like make sure to see him when he's here.
I was because when you did that was like 2022. You sent me a text and we're like, hey, you want to come out and play? I'm like, what? I mean, because to me, like this is a dream. What? Travel from Illinois out to California and play a show of. I mean, it was awesome. It was.
So you guys never knew each other in Illinois?
No, because and I didn't know our friend either. Like I didn't meet Matt until later on because we're just different parts. You guys lived a little bit further south than I did.
Got it.
We kind of we say Illinois, but we're right across the river from St. Louis. So it's not like Chicago and it's more like Southern Illinois.
Yeah, he's more like St. Louis based. We were more like closer to Chicago based. So, so yeah, it's kind of funny how those things happen. But I wish at this point, like we talk about the Kook Run really quick. Like that was the first year that we actually owned the event live because we bought it in 2020 and the next year we had to do a virtual and shit. And then so when we were first able to do the live event, I was like we want a live band. I was like, dude, the first person I didn't consider anybody else here locally. I was just like, fuck it. I want to bring Matt out, whatever.
Because I had sent you some stuff that I had been working on because I've been working on and recording music for a long time. Yeah. And so I had a lot of recordings and you even made a video to like a surf competition to that one. Yeah. So that was a little bit too that I had sent you the audio file. So we kind of had a little bit of contact, hey, can I borrow this tune to use on this video? So
and it was kind of one of those things and it was just one of those things.
And
where
it was also to get Jake to go.
It was also to get Jake to come up to North County. But to go back to that, I kind of wish that you could. Man, maybe this is something for later on. But we have completely changed the way that event's done. Like beforehand, we had this small little beer garden.
Now,
like because you've seen it.
Yeah.
Now it was
huge.
Now we do the whole entire parking lot.
Oh yeah.
And we have a big 20x20 stage, and it's.
So we need to bring the full band.
So yeah.
So we just brought it was me, Craig Knable, who played congas, and Ryan Thompson on lead guitar. So we just did a trio. Because that's just a little more manageable too.
Yep.
When we were kind of traveling out here, but
so now it's a little bit bigger scale of things and stuff.
It sounds.
But I mean, it's always been fun to have that connection, with
some of the best relationships are built in scenarios like that.
Oh no,
I'm just gonna go out on a limb, man. Because like one of my best friends, he still remembers to this day some of those things we used to do to each other. And it's fucking hilarious, right? And one of them was I shrunk wrapped him to a pole for his birthday. I'm not joking. We still talk about it. I have a picture of it still. I should post it somewhere. But yeah.
And how did he even allow you to do that?
Yeah.
First of all,
it started out just as a joke.
You know how strong I am. And so this guy's Vietnamese, right? And he's like 5'0" and he's really fast. And so they were a lot faster than I was. And we literally I recruited like 10 people to help me chase him down. We chased him down. for his birthday, we'd literally like hold him to the.
Now, was he
So
off the ground kind of a little bit?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was. He was hovering off the
So
ground.
you gang raped him.
Whoa!
Hold on.
Whoa! He would never
we're
admit to the
libation-
word,
we're
the
libations
R
involved.
word. He would never admit to it because he was willing. Okay.
If he was willing, then it's
Yeah.
consensual.
And it was his birthday.
And it was his birthday. He
yeah.
needed a little bit, right? And
Got
so, but the reason why we did that was because he was like one of those guys that just like always pestered you, like always. He would come, just stupid things, right? At work, I would go and touch my keyboard, and he would put all kinds of hand sanitizer on it, and you're like, what the heck? Right? Or he would be that same guy that like if you picked up your landline, he would put black paint on it, so that when you picked it up and you had a black ring, he was that guy, dude. And so he was always fucking with people, and we were like, we're gonna get him.
We're gonna get him.
We're gonna get him. And
get-
so,
okay,
like,
now- okay.
so now 10 people ganged up, and so till this day, we're still best friends to the forever.
And it makes
right?
a great story.
It makes
You
a great
always
story.
Talk, and do you call him? Now he's got to have a nickname like Saran Wrap or something.
Well, if he didn't, he does now.
Well, we call him a derogatory. He has a derogatory name, but
It's almost like
I don't
when-
even know if I want to say it on air, bro.
It almost-
but
it
he
kinda-
responds to it. Yeah,
It reminds me when you're a kid
Yeah.
and there's like you get into a fight with another person and then you just hate that person so much and then you fight them and then like yeah,
you're
that was
my
a good
best
fight,
friend.
man. Yeah, now you're like best friends.
Yeah,
like,
like stepbrother
wait, what
status.
just
Did we
happened?
just become best friends?
yeah, what just happened? I love it. Because
Did
you
we
know
just
what?
become
It
best
can't
friends?
be it can't be boring.
Yeah,
It's
no.
got to be something different or interesting or it's like
Yeah.
whatever. Everybody, you got to have something about you.
Dude,
Whether you're falling through a toilet or you're getting,
Yeah, he's like a saran wrap
Strapped
to a
up.
pole.
Strapped up to a pole,
fine.
getting beaten apart,
Yeah.
whatever.
Whatever
man.
it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it
But
takes.
that's like it's so true though. But when
Yeah.
it comes because guys, like us guys, man, I don't know, just my own perspective, right? We're not as social in a lot of ways. And so we need something stupid like that to kind of get us going and kind of like build a camaraderie of some sort,
Yeah,
right?
I feel like my life is a creation of that. I've had gigs where I've forgot my guitar. I've had a show where I ran my guitar over. Like I
Oh.
loaded up my stuff and this is a new acoustic because the other one I ran it over. And so like when I get to the shows or whatever, we had one show where we set everything up. I'm like, all right, where's my guitar? And Craig's like, you left your guitar? What the fuck, man? I'm like, okay, well, I got to drive back. So it's like, I'm just constantly creating these kind of things, I feel like, but maybe
That's
it's a
okay.
curse or a blessing.
Yeah, maybe.
So Matt's also the author of our
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So if you're, and I asked Matt to play it. So
Oh, yeah. we'll do
so
it.
at the end of the episode, we're gonna have the full One Step Forward is the song.
Oh, 1 foot forward.
1 foot forward. Sorry,
And
1
that's-
foot forward.
That's the name of the album, and that's the first full band Poor Dirty Astronauts album we recorded in my basement, Meyer Studios, aka my basement, in 2012. And on that one, it's Zeb Briskovich on bass, Miles Vanderveer on drums, Kara Baldus Merriman now. She's got married since on keys. John Mondin on lead guitar, and he's an amazing St. Louis blues guitar player, and I've never heard him recording on anything, but he's on this album. He played the talk, the little talk thing on the guitar. He played slide. He did all kinds of cool stuff on that. And, and I did the vocals and, acoustic, but yeah, that's the first kind of full band album we did.
Yeah,
And so you guys use that for the intro.
So we use that for the intro and the outro, and so I asked Matt to play that song at the end of the episode today, so that way people get the full experience, because they've been listening to it
for a while
since,
now.
since
For
we
a
started
year,
it.
over years now,
Yeah.
over 100 episodes. And so like,
Excellent.
I wanted to let the audience know, like, dude, it's not we're not having Matt here just because he's your homie or because he's a friend, but because this is kind of cool.
We're supporting the independent artist.
That's
It
right.
really is what it comes down to, and that's what I want to talk about music
Yeah,
with you
definitely.
guys. And we had a really good.
It's becoming harder and harder.
Yeah, and we
Right.
had this, as on the drive up here, we had a really good conversation about today's music industry.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and-
really?
Well, yeah, I mean, Matt. So as a background here, really quick. So Matt's full-time job Civil
Yeah.
engineer for state of Illinois.
Okay.
He had told me he was getting ready to retire and hopefully in a few years and making music a little bit more
Mm.
of a full-time gig, hopefully. And so that kind of brought into this conversation of what music means to him, then and now, and
what,
how
what it's become.
and what's
Yeah.
become and how this music industry, because really the music industry is not what it used to be, right? It's not the industry anymore. It's people are putting music out just to get downloads so they can sell merchandise or sell concert tickets for, because that's really where the money is made now. Like, how many albums are really sold?
You're not going to get a record.
It is funny, like
Yeah.
you talk about, and jump in here anytime, Matt.
Sure, definitely.
You talk about how you got the new album out, which I want to talk about in a second as well. But you were talking about how you didn't know about making the actual album, putting a CD together.
Yeah, for the longest time, I had started writing new tunes. So the last album we did is 2016. That's like 10 years ago.
Wow.
But since then, we've been playing out live, and I started writing new tunes, and kind of thought about, hey, let's do an album. But going into the studio was really expensive, kind of expensive, and doing it on your own takes a lot of time, and you have to I had to do a little relearning of all the programs and stuff. But I was like, well, what are we gonna do then? Just put it out and give it for everyone for free, or because no one's really gonna buy it anymore, and should we put out a CD? No one even has a CD player anymore. I mean, a lot of times maybe they have an Xbox they could play it on,
Yeah.
But it got to the point where I just felt like no matter what, I have to put it out, even if why not? Just to keep doing it, just to have something out there, to have content out there, just really for the love of it. It's at this point, it has nothing to do with really making money at all. It's truly an artistic expression. It's just truly, the music that I can make, that we get some guys together and we can make it. We can make our own music. To me, that means something. Now a lot of people I know, you can get a gig and you can play out and live every weekend if you want to play the songs that everyone knows and everyone hears, all the different cover songs. And basically you become more of an entertainer or a jukebox. It's not really about reaching into yourself and reflecting on anything. It's not about writing about your experiences, about maybe coming to California or coming to the ocean. You're just playing Last Dance with Mary Jane again for the millionth time, and that's cool too. And I think everyone when you play music, you have to learn from the best and you have to do that. But yeah, there's no real local radio stations where you're going to be able to go out and play and get your music.
Well, and that's the way it used to be, right? The local radio station used to bring an artist in and they'd play a song on air, and then that would kind of generate interest in sales, and for them to be able to be like, oh, people are actually interested in it, we're going to play more of it.
And the middleman has kind of been cut out too. There used to be maybe smaller record companies that would sign maybe local bands to things, and now people don't need that. They can make their own music. They can record their own music. They can
Put it out on
they can
YouTube.
distribute their own music. I use this website. It's called CD Baby, and you basically download your CD, and then you pay, say $100, and it'll just put your music on YouTube, Spotify, everything. And you won't really make any money, but it'll be available. If someone looks up Porter the Astronauts, bam, it comes up. And that's what you want. You want it to at least be available.
To what extent, though, right? Like, why would you do something like that? I don't know anything about the music industry, right? And so Jeff mentioned that, majority of the money's made from merch sales and things like that.
Yeah.
I know, obviously Spotify and all these online platforms changed the industry in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
Social media, I'm sure, changed the industry in a lot of ways.
Big time, yeah. Attention spans, just in general.
Just in general, right? And so
we're thinking of the world as we grew up in. Younger kids didn't grow up in the same world we did. So our point of reference is not the same as everyone else's.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, so from an artist perspective, how are they making money if they don't sell merch? They're not. Are they just because do they get paid for downloads? Do you know?
Most people will just get paid for playing live shows.
Got it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe if you're a bigger band or if you get to, I had some friends, they ended up they toured to pay off the money they spent on their recording.
Wow.
So the company spent thousands and thousands of dollars to give them an amazing album. But then they used all the money from their tour to like pay that back. Now,
Yeah.
and then they made just percentages of money from the merch. They traveled New York, California, Toronto. They went all over the North America, and to the point where the bass player in the band couldn't pay his utility bill.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
The term starving artist.
And
right?
they're also providing their own transportation. They're driving in a van, 5 or 6 guys all the way across the country. I mean, you have to really, really love it,
yeah.
but you have to love it. You have to love it.
And it's kind of hard. It's kind of a hard thing to do. I would assume that it's a hard thing to do. I have brothers that are artists, and one of them does it similar to what you're doing, right? He has a day job, and then he does his music on the side. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
And so he tells me all the time, he's like, man, I just want to do it because he likes to express himself. But I would assume that it's going to be a lot harder because I've asked him like, hey, why don't you cover some of these other songs that I really like?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says the same thing. He's like, man, I just don't want, like, I can do that, but how many times have you heard that song? And he goes, and for me, it's just because I love watching my brother sing.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yep.
so that's the thing. It's like, that's the selfish me. But reality is, I would assume that's going to be very hard for you to kind of go through like this whole scenario where you're starving. You're trying to make a money. You're trying to do it full time out of a passion, but you're going to cover a band while you're doing it. Like,
But yeah. And you don't want to be. You also don't want to be the pretentious guy that's like, oh, I never play a cover or whatever. You have to, and it's fun because that's why you got into playing music.
Right.
You didn't listen to your music.
Yeah.
And get into it. You listen to everyone else. So yeah, I mean, and you have to borrow and take from it, and then just I really like when people do covers, but they add their own spin on it. Like maybe they'll change it up, Like I'm a country singer and I'm gonna sing, Three Little Birds by Bob Marley and make it more of a country song rather than a reggae. Or maybe I'm a reggae artist and I take, I like do what you do, do what you do, but basically put your own spin on it. I like that.
Well, like I told you, we were at the open mic night last night, and there was a guy that came up. He literally came out and said, like, I'm more of a Chris Stapleton guy, but I'm gonna sing these. Like, I got a couple reggae songs, and it was kind of like Chris Stapleton meets reggae. And it was really fucking cool. Like, so I agree with you. I think that's when you can hear an artist like take a cover and kind of make it to your own style, that it adds a little bit to it.
And no matter what, I respect and love everyone who's trying to do it. No matter whether you're out there at an open mic or you're doing, karaoke, just experiencing that and having fun with it. I mean, it takes a lot of, it takes a little gumption to get out there and do it, so you got to have respect for it no matter what.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I recently took I stepped away. I hadn't taken a day off in like 3 weeks. And I had told Jeff, like, I'm disappearing for 24 hours. I literally got in my truck. I put a foam mattress in the back of my truck and some camping stuff, and I drove up to a mountain, slept up there, came back down, and then I just made my way back down like the 15, and I'm gonna stopped at Lake Elsinore, and then I went into Old Town,
Temecula.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove in. As I'm driving into Temecula, I get off and I walk through Old Town, which is pretty cool. I like
Old Town Temecula is pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet, right? And so you just kind of go. You don't realize I hadn't been there in years, right?
Yeah.
And so as I'm doing this, there's this lady on the corner. She's an artist, and she's doing her own thing, man. And I'm just like, not my flavor of music.
Yeah.
She was screaming at the top of her lungs, and I was like, whoa. But then she had like a small little crowd of people just like admiring what she was doing. To your point, it takes a lot of gumption to do that kind of thing.
And it's what's really weird about it is no matter how good you are, like no matter when you play, I always come off going, man, I could have done that better. It's like it's a constant like striving to be able to be like a badass like Neil Young. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen him play, but when he takes the stage from the first note to the end, he's confident and everything is perfect. Like there's no question.
You don't
And
think
that
you don't
is-
think he has those moments where he's like,
I mean, maybe
that
he-
wasn't perfect.
Maybe he
Come
does,
on,
but like
man.
that's where we're all trying to. Because in a lot of times you're like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why am I even up? Why am I doing this so that people can hear it? Am I doing it because I like just playing it and hear it? It's kind of a weird thing. I mean, it's not necessarily an easy answer.
Yeah.
It's just it becomes like a puzzle. It kind of starts getting, it becomes like anything that you really love and get into. It starts giving your life meaning in a weird way. Like you kind of, well, maybe I can get better. Maybe I can do something different. Maybe next time I play, I won't miss that verse, or I won't forget that line, or I'll play that right, and it just becomes like you just constantly re-satisfying yourself with it,
Yeah.
I don't know how do you explain that? But
Yeah.
Music is so therapeutic, though.
yeah,
It is in a lot of ways, and it depends on the music that you're listening to. I've
yeah,
heard people zen out over like some metal music. They're like, I'm like, how do you zen to that, right? You just do, right?
Yeah.
But for me, like I'm watching you play, and so I think what I'm gonna say is like
Yeah.
I'm sure some of those other bigger artists they have those moments. I'm positive
Oh,
that they do.
yeah.
I'm positive,
Yeah,
right?
everybody does.
But-
No one's, but you have this thing in your mind.
But the
right?
people that exactly, but the people that are looking at you play, they're looking at you from so many different lenses.
yeah,
And that's the truth. Like
Yeah.
they're not looking
I
at
know,
it.
I know.
They might be looking at it because they're listening to the lyrics, right? And they really want to hear what you say about
yeah,
being on the beach,
yeah,
right? Or some people, like right now, I'm just going to share my own personal experience of what I was doing when I was looking at you play right now. I was simply looking at you string the chords on the guitar, and that was very lethargic to me,
yeah.
right? And that's what I was like,
Yeah.
you lost me for like about 30, 45 seconds. And I was just looking at you like,
Cool.
but yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
cool.
I mean, I could hear the music and I could do all these things, but that was the experience that I had, right? And so I think from an artist perspective, I mean, from a consumer of
Yeah.
of the product that you guys put out, there's so many different reasons why we listen to it. And I think at the end of the day, it's about what you make out of it, right?
Yeah, heck yeah. And it's at a certain point when you get the bug of it. I mean, it's like I've got a really good friend. His name's Zeb, and he's been the best bass player I've known forever. The first time I saw him, he was the best bass player I've ever seen, and the last time I saw him, he's still the best. And he's
That's
like,
awesome.
he goes, it's not like you have a choice.
Hmm.
You
What do
don't
you
have a
mean?
choice. You have to do it.
You have to
You
play.
have to. I have to pick this up every day. Like
Wha-
I have
wha-
to play this.
Explain that to me.
I don't know. I can't. It's
Yeah.
like The Ring or whatever. Like
Right.
whatever it is, like it has you whenever you have it just and then it becomes like your history too. Like I have so many great memories and people I've met, through music, teachers that you remember through music, people who taught you things, people that you learn from. So it just it's not just the guitar and like you're playing songs. It's like a representation of you.
Yeah.
It's like your whole life. Like everything is built up to whatever you're playing right now. And at a certain point, like you can get complacent in that. And I feel like for maybe a while I did, and then I had some kind of really big things that happened to me in my life where I started to kind of reappreciate it and feel like now whenever I owe it to myself and everyone else to like honor them and honor myself and honor the music and the whole the kind of like the whole
process. almost.
process that I've
Yeah.
gone through, to make it as good as I can and to make it feel as good as I can. Yeah, it's
That's deep.
but yeah, it's not it sounds, but it is. It's like your whole life.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's deep.
I think about it like that.
I look at that when we talk about the God-given talents that we've acquired through our own lens of life, right?
Yeah.
And so, like as we walk through our journeys, and I struggled with this in the beginning of the year, and we talked about this. In my business is growing, and now I'm having to take on a different role.
Yeah.
But at my core, my gift is coaching.
Yeah.
Like this is, in my like, it's like your guitar.
You get
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
you
yeah.
get out of it. That's
Yeah,
what.
That's
yeah.
exactly. So it's
You
like
get that
at
bit
my
of
core,
that
I'm a
goodness.
coach, right? I really am. Like, I know I own a business, but that's not what I really want to be doing. I really want to just be coaching people. Like, and it's the same concept when you talk about.
But don't
picking
you
up that
feel like
guitar.
you kind of set yourself up for that too?
I don't. I
That
did.
you set
yeah.
yourself up to like in some ways be able to still do that.
Yeah.
Like even with the music, I knew when I was going to school. I played saxophone starting out from 5th grade. when I was playing in jazz combos and stuff in college, but I knew like I loved it, and it taught me how to read music and timing and everything. And I met a lot of jazz musicians that I even still play with now in this band.
That's cool.
From that, and but like I knew I wasn't good enough to be like Charlie Parker or like a sax player in a band. I wasn't committed enough to do that really, and so I didn't want to necessarily do music as my way of making money, as my life. I wanted it. It to me was always like a celebration and something, a release, something fun. So if I had to like go to a 9 to 5 and teach all, and just make music, everything, I feel like it would be like living in California every day and not being able to, you know what I mean? So like I still wanted that I wanted that for my music. So I I did the engineering so I could make money. And now I have my weekends off, and now I have money to buy guitars and recording equipment. And I really have used my career to really feed my
To
artistic
fund
stuff.
your artistic side.
And even though all the, I didn't finish and graduate in that jazz program in a weird roundabout way, now they're in a lot of these guys are in my band, and they've recorded on my albums. And I didn't, I didn't take the direct path, but you still kind of find your way around to doing what you love. I feel like, even if you know,
That's the
hopefully
that's the
everybody.
caution that Suzette gave me, dude.
Yeah.
When I decided to open up a gym, she said, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Am I
But
sure?
wouldn't you have rather done it and failed at it rather than think about, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that?
yeah.
But to your point of why
Yeah.
you still did engineering, right?
Yeah,
And so
true.
it's like,
That's true. Yeah.
like you continue to do engineering because music was an outlet for you,
Yeah.
right? It was a passion, and it remained that because you had no opportunity to develop a resentment towards that passion. Because
Yeah.
now, if you had to do it and you were trying to feed your family through music,
Yeah.
how much you're like,
And
ugh.
the guys that are jazz musicians, and they play those wedding type gigs.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
think, and those guys are the best musicians you'll ever. I mean, they're amazing. They're all awesome. It's just that, yeah, you kind of get, and they have to do that, to make it, to
Yeah.
get through, or teach or become a professor.
Yeah,
So
and so like do all the things, and that's my point. Like
Yeah.
it's like I think coaching for me is so beautiful, right? Because I always see people grow and change, and the
yeah,
fact that I can say or do something to somebody, and they're going to be like, they legitimately change the trajectory of their life sometimes, and it's just fitness, right? It's just coaching, but it's so cool for me. I love that, so fulfilling,
yeah.
and I can imagine that's from just picking up
Yeah.
that guitar and expressing
Probably
yourself.
in with coaching or teaching or playing music or anything you're doing, like it branches out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this person will, and
Mhm.
you may have, this person came to the gym or improved or whatever, and then they talk to this
Yeah.
the same way. Like the people that we play with or go see play, it's like it all is just a big like a community, and it just
Yeah.
gets better and better.
Yeah.
Because 5 years down the line, I'm here, doing a podcast. I mean, I don't know. It's San Diego.
All
I
from
don't
a
know.
broken toilet, you
Yeah.
guys.
All from a broken toilet, right? It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I love it.
Who knew a
All
broken
from
toilet
a
was gonna
broken
lead
toilet,
to
y'all.
Hey, you too could fall through a toilet
this? Yeah.
and do this podcast.
Yeah. Exactly.
All you gotta do is break a toilet, y'all. You got it.
I love it. I love
So-
it.
Don't come to my place and break my toilet,
Okay.
please.
All right.
Let's talk about the new album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. Yeah.
So what's the name of the new album?
Okay, so the new album is called Outside In. Now,
Okay.
The cover of the album is
Mm.
basically, I got this tattoo like 7 years ago in 2019.
Okay.
This was Back to You. So this is the
I
I
remember
get
that.
the tattoo before the album to say that's going to be the cover, so you got to complete it.
So explain the
Ah.
tattoo.
Okay, so this is
Because it's just it looks
it's
to like a
circles, right?
concentric
Look at the
circle.
target.
Like a
but it's
concentric
really like
circle.
consider is like almost like a cross section of the earth. So if this is the core, and I just kind of I made this up. I added colors, like a red color for dirt, a green color for grass, like a gray color for rocks, white for clouds, blue, and it kind of makes it earth, and then around it is dark, it's space, and then the last thing, the outer one is like would be the sun, which kind of mirrors the core of the earth.
Mhm.
I don't know. There's a lot of things going on here, but really, the song I wrote it after coming out here and playing at that kook run. It's it's time to wake up and breathe up the outside in. It's breathing outside in, but it and And like the chorus is, against the waves we all stand, the outside in we all began. It's just about life and everything. I don't know. That's the album, and that's kind of the idea of it. Also the kind of philosophy is, there's that philosophy, the more you look away from yourself is infinity, and the more you kind of look and like zoom in on yourself is infinite, but you're always moving away from yourself. It's like, the whole thing of you are it, like you're everything, and everything is a part of you and all that stuff. So it kind of goes into that too, a little bit of Eastern philosophy,
Okay.
but
You want to play a little bit of that?
but yeah, definitely.
Why don't you
Yeah.
play just a
Oh, yeah,
smidget
sure.
of that so people can kind of understand what you got.
It's time to wake up and breathe up the outside in. Can you feel it? A good way to begin. Well, I can see that sunshine. It holds its head up high. It's all around you, soaking up the sky. Against the waves we all stand. The outside in we all began. We can take a walk now. We can take it slow. We can find a mindset of filling up the flow. And all together, we're sharing how we shine. We can find a future, finally feeling fine. Against the waves we all stand. The outside in we all began. It's time to wake up and breathe up the outside in. Can you feel it? A good way to begin. Well, I can feel that sunshine where it holds its head up high. It's all around you, soaking up the sky. outside in, we all began.
Nice, man.
All right. Outside in. Heck yeah.
On the new album.
Yes. That's the first. That's actually the. What's funny is I put it in the middle of the album. It's the 5th song of 9. So outside in.
Outside in.
Is the inside of the album.
Ah.
And also the CD has like if I made vinyl, it would have this on it too. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I heard vinyl's making a comeback, man.
Yeah, I
Vinyl
mean,
is making a comeback.
that's kind of the thing that they're expensive to make, but everyone always asks me like, "Are you going to do vinyl? Are you going to do vinyl?" Like, maybe a couple of them. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, it's interesting how
Yeah.
we talk about how cyclical stuff is. Like, you know, you wouldn't have thought vinyl was going to make a comeback.
Yeah.
And we say that same thing
No.
about cassette tapes. It's like, who knows? I mean, that there is at some point in time somebody's going to be like,
There are. now.
you know, there's like the technology of a cassette tape is probably better than what it was back in the 90s or the 80s. And
The
it's,
owner-
But a
ownership-
cassette tape is not as sexy as vinyl, bro.
no, oh, well, no, 100% not. Like you can't like
Well, the other thing too is when you buy something like that, a vinyl or a tape, you own it. It's yours. You can play it whenever you want.
Mm,
But like all these streaming services, man, if the power goes out,
you're screwed.
yeah, you're screwed.
you got no music.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but I guess your CD player
Yeah.
would not be the. Maybe you get some batteries or whatever, but like, yeah, like the ownership of it. You know, like owning a movie, owning a DVD. I think some people are now kind of going back, and I've run into a few young kids who like collect VCRs, and they try to go and they go to garage sales and they collect VHS tapes, and
Well, it's interesting how like I don't like again.
we're
I
not
don't-
going back, but
We're not going back, but that stuff is always going to be something like they still do Blu-ray CD or DVDs in a sense, right? You can't find them as easy, but they still do that stuff. Record shops have made a huge comeback with vinyl stuff. Like there's
Yeah.
one here in Carlsbad that does crushes it because it's people are good. It's all younger.
And you can
It's all
buy it,
younger people.
and you
doing
can
it.
get a nice system, and
Yeah.
you know, but well, that's the other. I just think that's cool because just the idea of putting on an album and listening to it.
Mm.
A record player, you have to put it. I mean, it has to play through. So that's nice that if people have that.
Well,
you know,
the sound, like, I think that's what it is. It's the sound quality you're getting from
yeah,
vinyl versus downloading
Digital.
or
And you
digitally.
get,
like
and you get to open the album and see all the artwork. And I don't know,
exactly.
It's an
Exactly.
experience for sure.
It's an
heck
experience.
Yeah,
yes.
total
which-
experience.
it's an experience that I don't think like youth today really get a chance to experience.
Do they have the patience though? Like, it's so
don't know.
easy,
Well,
right? You know?
Yeah, exactly, and that's the hard thing. It's exciting that vinyl makes a comeback. Like I'm
Yeah.
glad that you see more and more artists going out there and doing it. And
Yeah, I've seen it quite a bit more and more. It's just, I think some of those, I've heard stories where like some of these big artists like Beyonce and Taylor Swift basically bought like companies who make records
yeah,
because they needed to make so many records because they were doing record releases again.
Yeah.
You know, so like I think one of my buddies said, yeah, like they were getting vinyl press, but it was a long delay just because of all the production that had to be done for like some of the bigger
Yeah.
artists. But
well,
you can still do it.
what I'll do is I really would love people to hear your new album,
Oh,
but
yeah.
some of the stuff that you've done in the past, and you can
Sure.
hear everything on Spotify. So I listen to a lot of your stuff on Spotify, and you've
Definitely.
sent me the albums and stuff before, but you can find all of Matt's stuff, and your band is Poor Dirty Astronauts.
Poor Dirty. It's a weird name. It's really a metaphor for a coal miner. There's a show
Oh,
called Coal.
explain.
They're cut off from the world. They're poor dirty astronauts, right? They're in a cave, you know.
Yeah,
I
guess I
Cut
didn't
off
even
from
know
the
about
world.
that.
But really, the more I thought about it, that's us. That's all of us. We're all poor dirty astronauts, right?
yeah.
I mean, it kind of started out as a joke like that, and then everyone's like, "What is it?" Because it's 3 names, so everyone is it little astronaut. You know, people mess up the name, but if you Google "poor dirty astronauts," it's the only thing that will come up. So it's a good name for that.
Exactly.
Other than that, yeah,
Dirty
it confuses.
astronauts.
Yeah, and the other thing cool is we get to use astronaut. We do a lot of space kind of stuff whenever we do flyers and different things. You know, the first 1 Foot Forward, the album cover had the first footprint on the moon as the album cover.
Yeah.
You know? But that was a picture from the 50s that NASA had released, so it had no copyright on it.
Well, perfect.
Wow.
Just letting everybody know.
Yeah, just so that you know.
Because you know we're making millions of bucks. On
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Exactly.
Don't sue us. We got no money.
Exactly. We're poor. It's kind of
Speaking of 1 Foot Forward, let's take the audience out on that one.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you guys so much again for the pie. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, man.
here we go. 1 Foot Forward. I've got no plan to give up. We came to stand. We've had enough. I'm taking this train to the promised land. Won't you give it up if you understand? We'll take 1 foot forward and we won't look back. We'll take 1 foot forward, right on track. Well, I'm driving this road under big blue sky, and all of my troubles and worries have passed me by. My eyes may never see a better day. Every corner of my room is feeling okay. We'll take 1 foot forward and we won't look back. We'll take 1 foot forward, so right on track. Well, we're marching for freedom, hand in hand. The curse of the human race is the greedy man. He's taken all that he can, but he still wants more. But the ocean can't stop the sand from reaching the shore. We'll take 1 foot forward and we won't look back. We'll take 1 foot forward, right on track. We'll take 1 foot forward, and we won't look back, no. We'll take 1 foot forward. track.